3 rounds go by, and then I saw the plume of dust come off of a wall, and the next thing I know, I'm laying down and I'm sitting up, and just my whole world was, it was fire. Everything was on fire. I was screaming, and they had somebody cover my mouth.
Today marks 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine. You just heard from TJ Rodman, who's from Lumberton. He spent time in Ukraine bringing supplies from Kyiv to the front lines. This is a somber day there for Ukraine. Today, the President Zelensky said the country won't stop fighting.
That's right. And now the U.S. is taking more steps to support Ukraine, including sending over more money and new sanctions against Russia. NBC's Richard Engel explains.
Ukrainians this morning observed a moment of silence for a war they were widely expected to lose. But no one here is celebrating. They've paid a heavy price to survive the worst year of their lives. President Zelensky thanked his troops and honored the tens of thousands of Ukrainians killed so far. Ukrainians have proven invincible, he said. Later, getting emotional as he spoke about his own family, saying his wife is working to help children and all Ukrainians. This war doesn't appear anywhere close to over. Poland today delivered new German-made Leopard tanks, just the first 4 of 14. Ukraine is expected to launch a new counteroffensive when more weapons, including American tanks, arrive. A year ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin thought Ukraine would fall quickly, that Ukrainians would be happy to join Russia. Instead, they packed off their families to be refugees. 13 million are displaced from their homes. And then, Ukrainians went out to fight.
Attacking apartment complexes like this is a terror campaign to frighten Ukrainians into surrendering. But it's not working. And all the damage here and across this country is only convincing Ukrainians of the need to fight back more or lose everything.
Today, the White House announced another $2 billion in military aid for Ukraine and imposed new sanctions on Russia. Although sanctions so far have not deterred Putin. Secretary of State Blinken with a blunt message at the UN.
Members of this council should not fall into the false equivalency of calling on both sides to stop fighting. One man, Vladimir Putin, started this war. One man can end it.
That was Richard Engel reporting. China is now offering to help stop the war by presenting a 12-point peace plan. But this comes after a top Chinese diplomat met with Putin this week, indicating the two countries are ready to strengthen ties.